Welcome to the Bhurakshak channel. To talk about pollution, particularly about air pollution, we have with us Dr. Sudhir Dhonde, an ENT surgeon, very well known in the Hyderabad circuit. Doctor, welcome to you.
Namaskar.
Tell us about what are the common diseases that are caused by inhaling polluted air?
Yeah. Again, it depends on the age of the person and whether he has any comorbidity like diabetes or anything is there. So that also affects. So normally it affects the respiratory system, starting from the nose, because whatever goes inside goes from the nose.
Yeah.
Then it can affect the throat and the lungs. So the normal thing which you get in the nose is allergies. Nasal allergies, then blocks and all those things, headaches and those things will be there. If it goes to the lungs, they get asthma, or sometimes if prolonged exposure is there, they can even get cancer and those sort of diseases.
Serious diseases, yeah.
So again, it depends on how long you are exposed to it.
Doctor, what are the main sources of air pollution? What are the polluting agents which are common and which you think are the most dominant sources?
Okay. So we start from the house itself. In house, there are so many things which can cause pollution. First thing is carpet. Carpet collects a lot of dust. So that can cause air pollution in the room, whichever room it is there, especially if it is in a bedroom, it can cause problems. The second thing is we use a lot of aerosols, air fresheners. So they are all chemicals. So they can also cause air pollution in the house. Okay, then we have got incense sticks and those things, So they also cause smoke and everything is there. And then if they are perfumed, they can add to the problem.
As a matter of fact, doctor, let me share my own experience here. We have stopped using incense stick in our puja.
Right.
Because my son is very sensitive to it. The moment we light the incense stick,
Right.
He starts sneezing and irritation of the eyes and all that stuff.
Right.
So we have given up incense sticks altogether.
Okay, that's good. And then we have got this pesticides. If you got indoor plants and this thing, you put pesticides, or for the mosquitoes you use those sprays and all those things. So they also cause air pollution in the house. And then another thing which is dangerous is asbestos.
Oh yes.
Asbestos, if you are using in the house or in the surrounding, they are cancer forming pollutants. Okay. And then pets, dogs, cats, whatever.
Pets, yeah.
Yeah. So those the dander can cause allergies. Especially if they are sitting in your bed or sofas and this thing, you're sitting on the same thing. So they can cause problems. And then of course dust is there, house dust, and if your roadside house is there, a lot of dust comes in, or some whatever dust comes from inside. And then if you don't clean it regularly, so that dust collection, that they can also cause problems. And then house plants sometimes they develop these molds.
Oh yes.
Molds can cause allergies. So that's in the house. Outside you have got vehicles especially which are not maintained properly. They emit a lot of smoke and pollutants in the air. And then especially if your house is very next to the busy road, you get more pollution there.
Oh, we are a victim of this all the time.
And then some industry is there near your house.
Yes.
In the city also we have some industries which can generate
lot of
pollutants.
yes.
Yeah. And then dust storms. We don't get much. But north in the desert areas and those areas, dust storms come. When dust storms come, the cities get completely covered with this thing. Especially if you see in the Middle East where the forests, the deserts are there, sandstorms. When the
Oh, they
sandstorm
can be,
comes,
they can be really
It's very
frightening.
horrible. Even if they close the doors, the dust is so
Fine,
small,
it
fine.
gets into.
It can enter the house.
Yes.
So that also causes problem. And then some areas, forest fires. Okay. Especially in California, the redwood forest is there. They get frequent forest fires, especially if it is in winter, along with the fog, smoke, they combine and get smog.
Yes.
Smog covers the cities.
Completely. Yes.
Completely covers the cities. So whatever is cities there, and that it lasts for days together, because there is no wind. It doesn't move away from there. So that is another source of pollution.
No, what are the common substances that are found in these pollutants?
Right. There are mainly three things. It can be either gas or solids, solid particles, or it can be liquid droplets.
Aha.
So anything can cause. For example, gas, you have got carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and then sulfur dioxide.
Yes.
Especially this comes from factories. And then, of course, carbon dioxide and other things from cars and
Carbon
other,
dioxide.
or people burning fuel
Firewood
and other
and-
things, So they can cause this thing, especially from fossil fuels. And then another gas which comes is methane. Methane, especially from drains and other things, it comes, or cow dung and those things. It produces methane. So that's also a dangerous gas. And then one more thing, CFC. CFC gas is there. It comes from refrigerators,
Refrigerators,
air conditioning and
conditioning.
these things. I think fluorocarbon.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is also another pollutant.
Doctor, what are the permissible limits for pollution, which are within the safety standards of the World Health Organization? And where do we stand in Hyderabad?
Right. Normally, what we have is about 10 micrograms per cubic meter. That is permissible and it is there. But up to 80 micrograms, it is okay. Still, it doesn't cause any problem. It
80, yeah.
80. It goes beyond that, then starts causing problems. And then again, it's continuous exposure, it's more dangerous. Short term is okay. Once you go away from that, it reverses. But long term, yes, we get a lot of problems with that. Hyderabad, compared to some northern cities, we are much better. So, for example, Bombay,
Yes.
pollution level is much more. In north, I think Patna and some places are there. Haryana, some places
I
are
mean,
there.
Delhi is now considered as the most polluted city in the world. I mean, 500 ppm,
Yes,
0.2,
yes.
0.5.
Yeah. Then compared to the other cities,
Yes.
Hyderabad is little better.
Yeah. But we are still, are we within the range or we are outside the range? Because
Outside the range, we are outside the range, yes.
that means we are above the range.
Above the range.
Only thing is
Especially,
there.
especially in the central city.
Yeah.
Outskirts, it is less.
Yes, that I feel the difference when we travel a little few kilometers outside the town. We can feel the difference.
Difference, yes.
What would you recommend to the parents, doctors? Because the children probably are the most sufferers of air pollution.
Yeah.
What would you suggest to them as a preventive measure?
As far as they are in the house, we can correct them or prevent them from getting exposed to the pollution, keeping the room clean, and then especially dust which is there on the floor. If you sweep, the dust will rise and settle on the furniture and other things. And in the children's room, keep less furniture. The more furniture is there, the more dust collection is there. It's difficult to clean that. So less items in that room and keep the floor clean. It should be mopped, not swept.
Not swept, yes.
Yeah. Or if anything is there, carpet or anything is there, it should be vacuumed. So then only the dust and
Yeah, when you suck the dust particles
dust
away.
particle. So that way they can do. And then anti-mosquito, this coils and all the things should be avoided from their rooms. And
Yeah.
best thing is to keep a mosquito mesh to their windows and this thing. So
It's
that you
safer
keep
than
the door
using this
open,
chemical
as well
control.
as you are protecting the child also.
Child also.
As far as they're in the house, you can do that, but outside it's difficult. When they go to the school or anything, you can't avoid.
That's true.
School authorities and those things, they should be careful.
As a matter of fact, I remember having read somewhere, children being shot, the pollution level is the maximum in the first the 2 to 3 feet of,
Yes.
of the ground.
That's right.
And children, normally small children, are of that height.
Yeah.
So they, and even the vehicle exhaust more or less is that level.
Yes.
So they probably inhale the most polluted air compared to their parents.
Yeah.
I saw several videos on the media. There was this talk about nitric oxide being a very good antibacterial, antiviral compound.
Yes.
And I mean, the video says that there was a discovery by a Nobel laureate who for which she won the Nobel Prize, and that this could be produced just by breathing, that is by pranayam. You can produce this in sufficient quantity to suppress this, your reaction.
Yeah. See, nitric oxide is found in the nose and especially in the sinuses. If you look at the function of the nose, it is not only a passage for breathing, it's also for your smell, as well as it acts as a filter.
Yes.
It filters the air, and then whatever air goes inside to the lungs is filtered. And that's one of the major function. And as you said, because of the nitric oxide in the nose, it causes the infection, it controls the virus, bacteria, and everything is controlled in the nose itself. If the nose is not functioning properly, if he does mouth breathing and all those things, he will get a lot of problems. Especially children who do mouth breathing, they get more problems.
Yes.
If they are breathing from the nose naturally, it acts, and as you said, the nitric oxide is the one thing in the nose which controls it. And nitric oxide also has got this vasodilator effect. So this nitric oxide is good for the brain. It helps in memory and all those things, they function. And those who have got stroke and those things, they recover faster with the nitric oxide. Vasodilator effect, you are providing more oxygen to the brain, and then it recovers. So nitric oxide is a good thing. It's an incoming thing now. A lot of research is going on this. So probably we'll see what happens later. Probably some nitric oxide for inhalation and those things will come out in the future. It has got some antiviral effect also. So probably that helps.
I mean,
don't know.
From the yoga side, what I read, I would like to share with the audience. They're suggesting that 3 pranayams for about 5 to 10 minutes duration. The first one is called Bhastrika, where you do fast breathing.
Yes.
This is some kind of a preparatory activity. And there are 2 other pranayams that are recommended. And one is Omkara, where you take a deep breath and then you pronounce the word Om. The first part, O is with the mouth, and the U is from the mouth, and Ma is with your lips closed. So what happens is, this is the way you pronounce you pronounce the word Om. Om. When you close your lips and utter the sound Ma, what happens is your nostrils vibrate.
Yes.
And when your nostrils vibrate is when the nitric oxide is produced in your sinuses. The third pranayam they recommend is the Brahmari pranayam, the sound of the bee. You put your fingers in your ears and hum the way the bee hums. this is what I got from the several videos that I watched on YouTube. I practice this more or less every day for about 10 to or 15 minutes. If this can give you relief from all the so-called bacteria and viruses, I think this is worth investing time for. One secret I can share with you, I don't remember when I had my last cold and cough. Probably it was thanks to these few pranayams that I do on a regular basis.
For the nitric oxide which you said, when you are doing this pranayam, the nitric oxide is already there in the sinuses.
Yes.
By doing this, it is sucking out the nitric oxide from the sinuses, it comes into the nose. That's how it helps. So the concentration in the nose increases, and then it has got all those antiviral, antibacterial properties.
Your word of advice, doctor, to our viewers, or what would you suggest as the final take home on pollution?
Pollution, see, first thing is you realize where the pollution is coming from and try to control that. If it is from outside, you shut the doors or put curtains and all those things. And then if you put curtains and all those things, you should change it regularly every week, because that collects all the dust and everything. Even your bed sheet, you should change it every week. And daytime, if a lot of dust and everything is coming, daytime you put a bed sheet on your bed. Night when you sleep, you remove the top bed sheet and then you sleep. So that whatever dust is there, it collects on the top bed sheet. And then, as I said, sweeping, mopping and those things should be continued. And less furniture in the house, better. Because that collects and you cannot clean
them altogether, yes.
You cannot clean, it's not possible. You can do it rarely, maybe once a month or whenever the festivals come, we do it.
But
So
on a day-to-day basis becomes
day-to-day, it's not possible,
Yes.
it's not practical. So that is there, and carpet, as far as possible, avoid putting a carpet in the room. And then air conditioners, they've got a filter there.
That's
So
true.
that should be cleaned regularly. It's easy to remove and clean. You don't have to call the mechanic to clean it.
No,
You can do it on your own.
Own.
It's a simple thing, and that should be washed and then again put. But that collects all the dust in the room. It filters. The inside air is circulated there, so that collects there. So there's a few things which you can do, and then whenever you come from outside, wash your face, do some gargling, and those things you can do. At least the dust which is on the skin, it helps.
is removed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this air conditioner, doctor, I think I have a small video on YouTube on my channel where I was surprised. I just took out the filter from my air conditioner and dipped it in water, and I found that a whole tub of water had become jet black.
Yes.
And that is the air we are breathing every day.
Correct.
There's a very small video of a couple of minutes which I have demonstrated to show people of what is the quantum of dust and dirt and pollutants that we are, and the black color obviously means it is not sand or something like that. It is pure vehicle exhaust and chemical pollutants.
Nowadays we are getting portable filters. You just put it in the room, put it on. There is a fan inside. It circulates the air, and then it filters the dust. So that regularly you can clean it. That's another good gadget.
Yeah, I think particularly those parents who can afford it and have small children in the house, I think it's worth the investment.
Correct. Especially if you are in a closed room, it's very useful.
That's true. Because most of the summer, hotter periods, we are in the air conditioning, where actually the values go up.
Yes.
And that has been a very fruitful experience, doctor, talking to you.
Yeah.
It was a learning experience for all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sparing your time, doctor.
Thank you.
And wish you the best in helping people live better, healthier lives. Thank you very much.
I also enjoyed talking to you.
Welcome, sir. I recall a conversation between Sadhguru and Anupam Kher, where Anupam Kher asked the Guru that what is your answer or solution to some of the issues, problems that face this country. He says, Sadhguru's candid reply was, in India, any number of laws, any number of acts and rules will not make the difference. What would make a difference is that you have a mass movement. And any number of mass movements we have seen, and they have been successful. He said, if you want to bring change in this country, it is only through mass movement and not through legislation. I think, friends, it is time we realize our responsibility as citizens and see that we do not contribute to either sound pollution or air pollution. Signing off. Have a nice day.